$576.01. Making a very close race. However, there's still a chance for Ricky. And for the Paper Mario Bring Luigi bid war, Bring Luigi is currently very much in the lead at $4,919.18, whereas for you Luigi haters, I guess you need to catch up because he's only at $185.17. Okay, and now we're ready for Celeste, featuring TGH and yoshipro.
All right, so since they won't be mic'd up, we're going to start with the couch roll call. I'm SexRex. I sniped the Speedrun.com leaderboards for this game when it came out, and they've been dealing with my bad decisions ever since.
I'm Devil Squirrel. I've been tasking this game.
I'm Matt. I'm the designer of Celeste, and I just want to say that your donation messages are making me cry over here.
I'm Noel. I also made Celeste. All that programming.
Yeah? Oh.
There it is.
Yeah.
Power up audio. Thank you very much. Jeez, the irony. Yeah, this moment was kind of doubling as a microphone test because this setup isn't really supposed to happen.
No.
This is a very Mickey Mouse kind of maneuver to allow me to be here, so thank you, Couch. I also helped make Celeste. I was along for the ride with these guys, so thanks, Matt and Noel. Thank you.
Two things.
Okay, so, and I mean, really, more importantly, why we're all here is the last I checked, we had 402 any percent ranks for Celeste on Speedrun.com. It's that, yeah, it's nuts. That was checked today. And this is rank 1 TGH. And yes, of over 400 ranks, rank 2, yoshipro, YP. So before we get too far into it, once this race begins, this game goes quick, and there's not a whole lot of time to talk about the basics. Yeah. So perhaps I'll throw it to Matt to just talk about some of the design choices regarding speedrunning this game in the first place, like developing it for speedrunning.
Do you mind if I make an announcement?
Oh, sure.
Well, first off, we have a donation from Power Up Audio for $1,000. Hey, SGDQ. Pleasure to be here yet again. Whether you're a viewer at home or attendee here on site, a world record holder, or brand new to the scene, a human, or a shark, you should all be very proud of what you accomplish together each year at SGDQ. Let's break 2 mil.
Yeah.
I also have another announcement, and that is we have broken $700,000.
Nice. Amazing. Are we good? Cool. Yeah, I guess to introduce the game a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, to introduce the game a bit. So this game has no RNG. Every room is deterministic. And it's just based on movement, basically. And the player speed is uncapped as well, so there's going to be a lot of like creative use of dashing to maintain momentum. You keep your momentum faster in the air, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And as well, skippable cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yay!
Very important. I think that's probably it. So, Tej, you good to go? YP? They're good to go.
Yeah.
Crowd countdown from 5, perhaps?
Yeah.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
We'll try our best to keep up with.
Yeah.
So, the prologue. perhaps a good time to talk about basic mechanics. So we've got a jump.
They can't dash yet here.
No.
They can't dash it.
They can climb up walls, though.
Yeah, yeah. So you just hold the trigger, you can climb a wall, you can jump up the wall as well. You'll run out of stamina if you do it too much.
You can also jump on the ground, as you'll see them do here.
Yeah, jumping gives you a slight speed boost. It can put you above your maximum run speed, so they're jumping as much as possible.
All right, so we made it through Prologue with no deaths. That's good.
Yeah. Oh. We should probably mention, there's 4 of us on the couch here who are...
Kevin's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 of
I forgot about that. There's 4 of us on the couch here who are each donating $5 per death. And you die a lot in this game casually. We'll see. Like, a casual playthrough is over 1,000 deaths. We'll see how they do.
And there's one guy in a chair doing that too, actually. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an extension of the couch.
So it's 25 per death,
20 per death.
plus Kevin.
Oh, I don't think all.
All right, so this is going to blaze by. I think the world record for the IL for this chapter is like a minute and change.
Yeah.
Like 1:00.95 or something?
9-8, I think.
9:8?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
cheers.
can already see them using the dash very, very well. If you dash diagonal down on the ground, that's called a hyper jump. That gives you a lot of speed. So you'll see them doing that here a lot.
Yeah, and after you hyper, if you wait just a little bit before you jump, you'll regain your dash. So then once you're in the air with all that speed, you have another dash to extend that out. and
Yeah,
really
that breaks pretty much every level in the game.
especially like that room you just saw TGH do there.
Yeah, and then dashing upward next to a wall is, TGH just did. If you dash upward and wall jump, you get a super wall jump, which is basically the equivalent of a hyper jump, but upwards.
And there's quite a few names for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I call it super wall jump, but no one else does.
So then also here, they just did a trick where if you wall jump while you're being clapped over, if you wall jump while you're holding neutral on the analog stick or D-pad, you don't move as far away from the wall. So there's actually a little trick to kind of just scale up a wall by doing that.
Yeah, without expending stamina. It's the important part.
Yeah, there's kind of 3 kinds of wall jumps. There's like a wall jump where you just go straight up while climbing and expend stamina. There is a wall jump where you press against the wall and you kind of jump away from it like this, and you can't really make progress vertically. And then neutrally, you can kind of jump up slowly without expending stamina. So it's a lot of choosing your inputs really carefully, and that was all very intended during the design too. That was a really sick thing. Watch YP's screen right now.
Yeah.
Skipping cutscene from that position in space moves your horizontal position to the middle within the dream block and skips having to jump up after
Yeah.
that skip
It works
cutscene.
in a lot of cutscenes, but in most of them it just puts you into the walls.
Yeah, it can soft lock. The dream blocks that you dash through them, you can move through them after they're activated.
So coming up, watch Teja's screen here. There is a very precise trick, and he got it. That's a
Nice.
3-pixel window.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's watch YP.
Oh.
That trick used to be a 1-pixel window until we fixed a separate bug where you die at the end of some dream blocks.
Yeah, something like that.
And now it's 3 pixels.
Yeah.
These rooms, they have to hit all the switches to make the gate move while they're being chased by a ghost, which copies all of your actions 3 seconds in the path. Tej is on the final room of the chase here.
Yeah.
YP's not far behind.
Using that secret dev door that they put in because they hate console players.
It's in consoles now.
Well, now.
That secret dev door patched into consoles. Do you want to talk about Ultra's Devil Squirrel? Is it worth doing that now?
Maybe
Yeah.
not now, maybe when they get to the awake scene.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that whole thing was a dream sequence. Now Tej is just going to run through this awake, and YP's pretty close behind him here.
Yeah, the pretty big meme in the community so far is the task does this awake scene that Tej is in right now and YP in quite a different way than they will do it.
Yeah.
It's because of ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you do that section with perfect inputs, a lot of like hyper dashes chaining them together, the player speed is uncapped, so you just keep adding to your speed, and the speed you get is ridiculous.
So this is one of the coolest things I really liked about the game.
Ooh.
Coming up to get this key, when you scroll a screen, it gives you your dash back. So normally you'd have to do some wall climbing and jumping around to loop around to get that key. But you can just kind of dash twice to grab it there.
Yeah. Is that used anywhere else in the speedrun?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Not in the any percent at least.
No.
Oh yeah, it'd be used a lot more in all berries.
It's used in the Yoshipro chase at the end of this chapter, actually.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Looping around to get a key, open a door. Yeah, as you can see, they're pretty much skipping the the bulk of a lot of these levels with the hyper jumping.
Yeah, so just to recap on the hyper jump again, basically if you dash and jump from that, you're given a boost of speed forwards in the jump.
Ooh, TGH takes a death.
And we're giving more money too for those deaths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you get that boost of speed off the jump. If you wait a bit longer before jumping, you can actually kind of retain or regain your dash as you go into the air.
Yeah, the dash normally, well, it only recharges when you touch the ground.
Right, yeah.
Or
So
certain other
by doing it
actions.
very late in the dash, you're kind of, you're both finishing the dash and getting your dash back and getting that speed.
And
boost as
retaining
well.
your momentum, yeah.
So this section here, TGH is in, is just a lot of very careful movement. I think we've got a lot of flack for this room, actually.
Yeah.
It's not particularly speedrun friendly, but
It's kind of good. I don't know.
it's important for lore.
Yeah, it's thematically important.
Thematically important. Okay, so very important little speed tech mechanic coming up on TG's screen. A few screens, 3 screens from now, is a spike jump. So the gist is, if there's a wall of spikes and you're moving away from the spikes, you can still jump off of them.
Yeah. Spikes can't kill you if you're moving away from the pointy end of them.
Yeah, you can clap for that. That was pretty sick.
It's,
First try.
it's really difficult. Yeah, it's a lot harder than you made it look.
And here's YP now. And he gets it too. There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
second try is still really good. Yeah, Chapter 3 has a lot of cycles. It's pretty much the only chapter in the game with cycles. So these players just have them memorized, obviously, and they're just making quick work of it. It's kind of mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, and emphasizing again what Matt mentioned at the very beginning before we began the race, is that every room is deterministic. So
Yeah.
a lot of speedrunning this game is all about just learning exactly how to handle every room the moment you
Yeah.
get into it.
One kind of wrinkle, though, is that because the maps are continuous, if you enter a room from the previous room, the cycles will be different than if you die and respawn in the room. So for Chapter 3 particularly, you have to learn the death cycle as well as the entrance cycle if you want backups. Or you can just play flawlessly.
So I missed one thing there on the button, the last button that TGH has pressed. There is something that's kind of a newer mechanic due to a bug fix, and we're just calling it a corner boost, I guess. So there was a bug that really only affected speedrunners, where sometimes you dash at a wall, and upon arriving there, if you're trying to do a climb jump, like kind of up and over, then what would happen is the game would end up jumping away and kind of eat your climb
Yeah.
input.
We could tell people didn't like it because the name they gave for it had an expletive in it.
So upon fixing that now, if you dash towards kind of the upper corner edge, then you'll launch over it. This room, endless hypers,
Oh, this is so sweet.
wonderful, and you keep keys on a respawn as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so as soon as he touches the key, hits retry, and gets $20 from the coach.
And here's YP now, same thing. No problem.
Yeah.
So sick.
So now Tej is coming up here to actually fight Ashiro.
Yeah. Or
Run away
avoid
from.
fighting him.
Yeah, the
And
Yoshiro fight's really just about very, very good movement.
Yeah, if you played this game casually, it's kind of fun to see like TGH exiting the screen before Oshiro can even attack on a lot of these.
It's great as well. Some of these rooms, the older strat used to be to kill yourself on entry because the death cycle was just easier to deal with.
Right, right.
And it's really nice to see that the
Yeah.
route has been developed such that there's no need to kind of jar the run like that.
That was a great chapter 3. The this last room is scary. It's a very long room, so taking a death at the end can set you back. So it's a very stressful room. And YP nailed it.
Nice.
So Golden Ridge, this next chapter that we're into on both players, one very large mechanic is wind, and it's a very hated mechanic, I think, by a lot of players, but I don't think you'll see a lot of difference as far as speed goes. If you know all these speed strats and such,
Yeah.
it's kind of negligible. You still need to deal with it, but you're still going quick.
Yeah, this is one of the chapters that's, I would say, most different between speedrunning and casually, because the wind just becomes a non-issue for speedrunners, but casually it's a huge pain.
So this next room for TGH, we'll see a great example of those neutral jumps. We'll scale this wall here, expending no stamina.
It's the wind helping out with the neutral jumps.
Another spike jump here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Another spike jump.
Doesn't even blink.
First try.
Here, just a couple of super wall jumps here in a row, like, you
Yeah.
can't even keep up, but there's a lot going on here.
Oh, this room's very important. So,
Said he'd try that once, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
one try. So this room, there are auto-scroller kind of rooms like this with this arrow block, but in most cases, it's
Oh.
nice, no problem.
Even the backup is awesome.
Yeah, in most cases, there's usually a way to skip over it or at least make it a bit shorter. TGH was trying something the first time where you don't even need the arrow block. There's two ways of doing it, and I think no one's done it. One of the ways is only TAS,
Yeah, not in a run at least.
and the other way is like a 5% chance Tej gave it before the run, so not surprising that it didn't go well.
Yeah, it was 3 backups in a row there.
Another auto-scrollery level on Tej's screen here.
Yeah, and this one can be skipped in the task, but it's
Yeah.
very non-RTA viable.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a optimization there at the end. I love that. Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's just,
That's a gorgeous room. Wow.
yeah.
Oh, a tough death on YP's side.
At the end of the
You're getting ahead of that arrow block there. That used to glitch out pretty hard.
Yeah, that used to. There used to be an arrow, like a bubble clip through that arrow block.
Yeah, I think you went inside of
Yeah,
it.
you
and
go inside and it would snap you at the top of it, and it was
It was messy.
Yeah, that's one of the few we've actually fixed.
Oh.
This race is still very close. Like, I think YP's PB for this chapter is actually better than TGH's as well, right?
And YP with tons of room on that bubble skip there. That was great.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, deaths are very fast in this game, so taking a death is not, or 2 deaths is still a good chapter 4. It also depends on what room you die in. The longer rooms, yeah.
Yeah, YP now in the final room. Done, no problem. Hot on TGH's heels.
Yeah, both runners, chapter 5 down.
So chapter 5 has a lot of skips going on. They're I
just
think
a
mostly
couple.
with design.
There's one very big one, and then a couple, like that was a skip right there.
Oh
yeah.
man, I missed that entirely.
Those reverse dashes are really cool.
normally for
Oh.
that one you have to get a bubble from the other side.
yeah, normally you have to go way out of your way to get that.
Yeah, so worth mentioning really fast, Matt mentioned that there's a reverse hyper as well, where you can dash and then change your direction of input and jump at the end of that one instead, and you'll kind of ping pong the other way. And in some cases, you don't have the clearance to dash and also be on a platformable surface still.
Wow, I haven't even seen that one before. Oh! Gets cut in half by the moving platform.
YP does the same
Yeah,
skip
YP,
there.
same great strat,
Yeah.
skipping that first bubble.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll actually see.
Here's DBS from TGH. He's going for a
Double
corner
bubble
boost
skip.
to skip the bubble. Come on, Tej.
Oh, this is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, this is used as a corner boost as well.
Yeah, if you just barely clip
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
If you just barely clip that corner, you can
It's all for
retain
charity.
your speed.
Hey, I need to eat next week, Teach.
Now we're back in the same room now.
Amazing.
YP going for the same skip, opting for the safety instead. YP made up a lot of time there.
Yep.
Some generous attempts from TGH.
Yeah. TJ's shaking his head.
He had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was calling him. We're about to enter the second half of the temple here. This part has a pretty huge skip. But first there's a kind of weird dream section.
Is now a good time for a donation?
Let's do one quick one, sure, Mike.
Yeah.
We have $50 from Lena Rain.
Hey, Lena.
Lena. Lena's the composer for Celeste. She made the amazing soundtrack.
It's such a dream to have a game I've worked on played on GDQ. Thanks so much for all the runners and all the fans that have helped Celeste reach so many people. Strawberry pie for all.
Thanks, Lena.
Hi, Lena.
Wish you were here.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish you were here.
So I guess coming up this next section, there's a lot of, we call them seekers, I guess internally.
Yeah. They're kind of like
Little
beholders.
friends.
Yeah. They'll chase you. You can, they can activate the switches for you. You see TGH baiting one there. You can bounce on their heads. There's a lot of kind of mechanics with them. Right there, bouncing on one. Yep.
Just got with the explosion there. That's great.
So
It's
when-
right on the edge.
When you jump on them, it doesn't kill them. They respawn a bit later, and they respawn with a shockwave that can activate switches. It can also push Madeline around.
So right now, same thing. That switch is gone.
You might see some tech later in this chapter where they use that explosion.
There's a bit of spaghetti there. Just a touch.
So we're coming up on the second to last chapter, or the sub-chapter of Chapter 5, that has a big skip with one of those reverse hypers.
Yeah, if you've played this part casually, this is way shorter than what you experienced probably.
No problem. First try.
there it is.
Easy. And that skip was by design as well. We actually made it harder.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin discovered that skip during development.
Yeah, upon our discovery of reverse hypers with
Yeah.
the kind of ping pong jump, upon discovery of that, we made that particular skip possible.
Saves like 2 minutes or something, doesn't
Yeah, it's
it?
a
Yeah,
massive
it's
time save in this
ridiculous.
chapter. And now into Crystal Theo.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
favorite
Devil Squirrel, want to
sidekick.
explain this, like the movement stuff? I don't even know how to best talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, even in the task, it's hard to move around with Theo. He just kind of slows you down. But anytime you pick him up, you get a kind of a little speed boost. And he can activate the switches as you see. And
Yeah. When you're holding him, your max speed is lower, but the speed in this game is actually uncapped. So that only really applies if you were to like run on the ground with him.
It's a great throw here.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The TAS actually flies through that spike wall in that current room.
Yeah, it just goes so fast, clips right through the spikes.
Into the final room.
Man, watching this part always just makes me laugh. It's so crazy.
So starting chapter 6
nice.
into Reflection.
YP in the final room as well here.
The YP's right behind. Look at this.
Yeah.
So right away in Reflection, we're going to skip a big opening kind of story sequence and go right to the lake. And there's a pretty massive skip. It's called Lake Skip. It avoids having to go all the way to the right of the screen, get a crush block, bring it back, and
Kevin
go
block.
up that way. And basically what's going to happen is we're going to... It's possible to do a wall boost on spikes at the very bottom corner of an underhang kind of thing. There's a few pixels where you can get the wall boost off the wall. So we're
Yeah.
going to see this right now.
This is a pretty new skip. It's called Lake Skip.
First try. There we go. No problem.
I saw YP warming up with this one. Let's see. The Kevin blocks. That's Kevin's voice. They sound even better if you can get them to go underwater.
And now leg skip from YP. Nails it.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. Gain some time there.
Some more neutral jumps in TG's screen now. This skips a large sequence going to the low left first.
And I can't believe how close this is.
Oh, no, not quite. Oh, it's so tough. So there you can be thrown, and of course, the hyper dashing and such, if you're on something that currently has velocity, it'll throw you farther, like right now. There you go.
Also there, TGH climbing up on top of that block to get his dash back, and then getting back down, riding it, and then super wall jumping off of it to clear all the gaps.
Was that same throw strat on YP's screen, probably? And nails it, no problem.
That room in particular showcases you really have to know what the next room is in this game, because you're setting up your momentum from the previous room to be correct for the next move you're going to do.
One small bit of tech with these pinball bumpers. If you are hitting the side of it, left or right, and upon hitting it, you then input away, you'll get an extra boost. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah.
Something like that?
If you're holding away on the frame you hit it, you
Right.
get more momentum.
And that is used in some places, like right there, to skip that second pinball bumper.
Yeah. Coming up on the boss fight here. This long feather sequence. Nails it. A lot of movement for this final section before the boss.
Design shortcuts.
Yeah, these are some of the more obvious ones.
You can thank Matt for those ones. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
You can also thank Matt for this very, very short water sequence. That's it.
Yeah, originally this whole chapter was a water world.
So right at the end here, TGH can try and get thrown directly into.
Yeah, this is some of the fastest
boss
speed
room.
you'll see in this run.
Yo!
And directly into the final boss's face.
If you do that too fast and skip, you'll end up in the floor, which is not fun.
Similar to Oshiro's chase, this whole section is very, very about movement.
Yeah. Yeah, when you collide with her, you're thrown backwards, but you get control back pretty quickly, and you get your dash back.
YP starting the fight.
Yeah. If TGH takes a death on one of the longer rooms, this will be even. I love seeing the optimization recently of the downward dashes. That's something that came into the run pretty recently, I think. Just getting that extra little bit of speed. Falling isn't fast enough, you have to dash.
Oh, worth mentioning as well, there's one audio bug that we left in the game. If you listen carefully on this hit, the music goes, and if you pause on that frame and retry on the same screen, it will stay that way until you die again. It goes,
Don't tell everyone, Kevin.
Yeah, you're giving away the flaws. Kevin asked us to leave that in.
yeah, I requested that because it'll only ever happen if you're like retrying a room over and over again. So only speedrunners, right?
Yeah,
Little love.
it's kind of fun.
Oh.
That's a rough death.
That's a
long
costly
room.
one, yeah. No, YP's still a bit behind here.
On YP's screen, cheeky little skip. Very nice.
the final boss room on TGH's screen.
I guess we probably could have noted those feathers. Actually, you do want to use analog for those, whereas basically everything else in the game, it's just okay to play with the other D-pad or keyboard, because if is it 13 degrees that you want to change?
Yeah.
Or less than 13 degrees?
Yeah, less than 13 degrees per frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically analog sticks give you full 360 control with the feathers.
Yeah, so if you change less than 13 degrees per frame with a feather, you maintain your full speed. So.
Yeah, they start slowing. Yeah, you decelerate a bit if you try to turn faster.
YP right behind here. This is so close. All right, into the summit.
Yeah, wow.
And you may have noticed now that Madeline has pink hair, which refers to her having 2 dashes.
Yeah, so for the final chapter, good chapter 6 by YP as well. For the final chapter, both runners have 2 dashes. And it's kind of like a final exam kind of chapter where you go through all the mechanics from the rest of the game, but now you have 2 dashes. So this is the longest chapter, but this is a third of the run, right?
Yeah, basically. The summit is kind of just a culmination of all of the chapters in one.
Yeah. Like the story conflict is really resolved in chapter 6, but then the summit is you basically climb the mountain again. And yeah, it's by far the longest chapter.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard to even keep up with everything that's happening. Like, the movement is so cool, though.
There's a great little skip coming up on TG's screen, on the final screen, with the part of you helping out. Right here, see if he gets it. Very nice.
Oh,
He
yeah.
dashes up
And gets up,
diagonally,
yeah.
jumps off that wall on the underhang, and gets through a bit quicker.
Wow, I hadn't even seen that one yet.
I saw it the first time yesterday. Very cool. Oh yeah, so here's a neat thing. You can hyper jump out of dream blocks. You can jump. That's a thing that the game teaches you.
Yeah.
Matt didn't know you could hyper jump out of dream blocks until like half an hour ago.
Yeah, I learned that just in the green room. That's cool though. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Yeah, you'll still teach do it here a lot.
Yeah, wow, 3 in a row. That's not easy either.
Ooh.
This little diagonal slip is nice right here. Up to the left.
Yeah,
Through both.
right through both
Stylish.
of them. Yeah, it just counts them as one dream block if your hitbox never leaves them. Teaches to the chapter 3 section of the
There's a
summit.
great ultra coming up on this one. How many screens in, Devil? Do you know?
I think it's the 4th screen.
4th screen? You'll know when you see it.
You always know ultra when you see it. By an ultra, we just mean like you hyper jump and then you keep hyper jumping every time you touch the ground and keep adding to your momentum over and over and just pushing your speed cap even higher.
So yeah, here we go. This screen.
Oh, flawless. That's a tough room. So nice.
That was one of the slowest rooms in this chapter not too long ago. Now you barely see it.
Oh, YP takes a costly death.
There's a cool skip on TGH's screen as well. Just you can super wall jump as soon as you enter a screen if you dash from the previous one, and we'll see from YP in a bit here as well. Once he gets to the next section.
This is now TGH's favorite room in the game. And he nailed it. Not bad. There's a big skip from TGH here. Have a look.
Oh, yeah.
We're there on top. Hyper through it. Keep our dash. Dash twice. Grab onto that air block.
There
And
we
a
go.
wall boost here. No problem.
Ooh.
It's a flashy one. Kind of an auto-scrollery room. Get a little skip at the end. You're running with the wind, getting some hypers in to get even more speed. So he just doesn't activate any of those. Why not?
Yeah, they're just there for show.
Yeah. Decoration.
YP going for the same skip right now. Have a look. Tons of clearance.
Yep.
Last bit.
Nice.
Nailed it. Nice.
Smooth.
Well done.
Door skip. Is that what someone said? Door skip.
Door skip coming up.
TGH, they want door skip, my friend.
The most infamous skip.
There's two skips, I guess, in this area that are worth talking about. One's
I mean,
right here.
you could have called that a skip. That was crazy.
You call everything a skip.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally you have to go down there and do like a little maze that shoots you up through a bubble and then you get that key.
Door skip coming up soon. It's a tight fit here first, though. Nice,
Ooh.
very nice.
That
And
one's
door
also
skip, here we
great.
go. One and
Door skip one.
yeah! And a smile from TGH. Thanks, man.
You know it's a run when you get door skip. TJ's during the final section of the summit. It's not a short one though. YP's almost there as well.
It's not short. There's plenty of room for error. A whole lot of room. YP, door skip. Here we go. Yeah!
Both runners got door skip. That means they both won.
Yep.
So this section has many checkpoints, these flags with numbers counting down. Yeah, 30 flags on your way to the top of the mountain. So the checkpoints are really generous here, so deaths won't cost much. But the race is still pretty tight, so
And it is possible to skip a few of the checkpoints. We just saw TGH skip a very
Yeah.
easy one.
it's risky for some of them.
I did see YP in practice skip a checkpoint by accident, actually, and then died during the next gauntlet and had to go back 2 checkpoints. So hopefully not here.
This section has upward wind. Well, actually, YP's in the section with downward wind, which gives you less jump clearance. But TGH is in the upward wind room, which kind of makes you float.
It's a great little jump here on TGH's side from these spikes. Very nice. And a quick section, lots
Possible
of...
because of that upward wind.
Exactly, yeah. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do it typically on normal wall.
Not even getting that
Oh,
checkpoint.
skip the checkpoint.
Skip the checkpoint. A little more dangerous.
He makes it. Skipped another one. This one's less risky.
Door.
Same jump from YP right now. Yeah, no problem.
All right, coming up on time on TGH when he skips this last cutscene.
And time.
Time.
Oh, these last jumps can be so nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
Skips 2. Doesn't even care.
He just wanted everyone shouting to look like fools.
I didn't know you could skip 2.
Oh! He had to make up for...
Just for charity, right, YP?
Yeah,
For the
he had to
charity.
make up for not dying on Prologue by dying on 1.
Time. Beautiful run. Wow.
You got
Both sub 33.
Standing ovation,
in-game
too.
time.
Holy.
Wow.
And death count, we got 20 and 23.
43 deaths.
Oh, man. $115 each.
Okay. Amazing run. Both of them sub 33 in-game time.
Ew.
Sub 33.
Why?
I'm gonna hand this off to Tej right now, okay?
Hi guys. Not exactly sure what to say. GG, that was a great race. YP, thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching. Those at home as well, those in the crowd. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. We have a truly great community for Celeste. You know, none of this stuff would be possible without everybody's efforts from the community. It has truly been a joint effort on their part and ours as well, but mostly theirs, let's be honest here.
Yeah, special shout outs to Ball Jared for verifying all the runs with me and TGH here all week.
Can we get one more round of applause for the devs as well for making... for making just an absolutely amazing game, an amazing speed game. You guys are amazing, seriously. Anything you want to say?
Shoutouts to Ty, please.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was an incredible race, and we have plenty of donations. We have $50 from Java Jesus, who says, "Hug that ghost." $200 from an anonymous donor who says, $50 for each door skipped. Skip, good job, TGH and yoshipro, getting those important frames. And just hold tight. We'll be playing a quick Twitch ad, so just don't worry, we'll be right back. And we are back. And we have the fifth Matt donating $860, saying, as promised, $20 per death. What a fantastic race from both runners. $30 from Theo Understars, who says, Madeline, wait up, you're going too fast. $25 from anonymous donor saying, hey ya! We have $570 from a French donor, Valentin Keke, who says, Celeste is game of the year. Good game, guys. $100 from Hey Demons, who says, breathe. You can do this. $50 from Gilly, who says, Celeste helped me through a really tough time in my life. Remember to never give up on overcoming your obstacles. We have a $1,111 donation from Mars 619. Who simply wanted to say, donation goes towards Celeste Speedrunner's Choice. We have an $151 donation from an anonymous donor who has a very touching personal donation. I've struggled with panic attacks for 2 decades. Celeste is the first game I've ever played that approached the issue of mental health in an honest, compassionate, and sympathetic way. Playing it was an emotionally moving experience. To the creators of Celeste, thank you so much for making this game. And for anyone else struggling with panic, therapy and medication can change your life. Trust me. And a $1,000 donation from an anonymous donor who says, Celeste is rad. Another $1,000 donation from Foo-Foo-17. That Celeste run was the best thing I've seen in a long time. Thanks to both of the runners for an amazing race. $500 from the Materia Collective. $30 from Savannah 255. Seeing 3 of my favorite games ran so well in a row tonight was such a treat. Congrats to Connor and TGH on the races, and thank you to all the runners and staff who make this amazing event possible. Heart. Can we give a shout out to all the runners and staff for this event and the volunteers? Woo! We have $500 from Tails Fox 88. Had to donate again for Celeste. This game helped me through some really rough times earlier this year, and I just have to say thank you to the devs for making such an incredible game and all their support of the community. Also, 114% at GDQ when? We have $250 from Lilac Attack. Glad I woke up just in time to catch the Celeste run from the beginning. Such a great game that I had to donate during it. Also excited to see that my favorite game franchise, Setup Block, is back at SGDQ2018. Who's pumped for Setup Block 5? We have we have a $10 donation from Emily180. Had to donate during Celeste in honor of all of those struggling with their mental health. Hashtag stay strong. $20 from Mountain Climber, who has some very good advice. Remember to focus on the feather so that you can calm down. We have We have $30 from longtime GDQ runner, Mecha Richter, who just wants to say, hey guys, hope everyone is having a great time at SGDQ. I wish I could be there, but there's always next time. I had to donate during this block to win some of those amazing prizes. Keep up the good work, everyone. You guys are doing amazing. And we miss you, Mecha. We have $215 from Mr. Skipperdoo. What an awesome Celeste run. Here's $5 for each death. Keep up the great work. We have $50 from Nomad108. Hey guys, that race had me on the edge of my seat. It's a real mark of a game's quality, and TGH and YoshiPro's performances when an entire audience just sits in silence and watching the screen enraptured. Thank you, GDQ, for supporting such a great cause, and thank you, Matt Makes Games, for crafting one of my favorite platformers of all time. Atha Caspin with $30 had to donate during Celeste, my favorite game of the year so far. Good luck, runners, and hello to everyone in the audience. Enjoy those strawberries, the few you pick up. $250 from Senor Pablo. Hard to express how grateful I am for Celeste, its runners, and its community. It's extremely hyped to watch these two. Here's to many more runs. $25 from the Geekly Grind. Hurry up, runners. Gotta catch Battle Line. She desperately needs a hug. And now we're going to have an interview with the Celeste runners and OTDQ from Audio and Noel Berry and Jay Hobbs.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jay Hobbs, and I'm joined by pretty much everybody you just saw.
How's it going?
You guys seem pretty. You guys seem pretty comfortable.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Somebody's mic is off, but I don't think it's mine. You guys seem pretty comfortable. Why don't we get two of you over here, though, so that we can make this a little less awkward. Matt and Kevin, you want to head on over here? Graceful.
Thank you.
Graceful as always. All right.
Oh man, it's cool and refreshing.
Oh my God! Oh, we're doing this. Okay, we're doing this. I didn't know this was happening.
We're all friends here.
I prefer Coke. All right.
I think my mic.
I knew that was going to be. Anyways, Celeste, you guys just had an awesome race. Congratulations, TGH, first of all, on your victory, and YP on an excellent showing. I mean, what, within 50 seconds in game time or something? That was nuts. Like, that was a super, super cool race. So I kind of want to just jump right into something that we took a clip during that past race about a moment that was really cool on both screens, and because Celeste is such a fast action game, it's hard to keep track of both screens during a race. So let's go ahead and roll the clip. Basically on the left side here, you're seeing TGH doing a hyper off of one of the Kevin blocks, which is kind of what we were talking about during the during the race. And you'll see that he gets an unbelievable, I believe it's an extended hyper, right? Because he did the short hop after, all the way into the boss. But as the clip kind of like loops around, we're gonna watch the right side this time, because on the right side, you're gonna see YP just do a miraculous save with some of these developer intended shortcuts. So he gets the first two, no problem. And then the third one, he's about to die. And he had to kind of like push himself into the pinball bumper to save himself.
I completely missed that.
So tell me, both of you, like kind of just, let's start with YP. What was going through your head when you're trying to like save yourself on a strat? Let be that one or another one, but especially there, when you're trying to save yourself on one of the longest rooms in the run, right?
I don't know, honestly. I just like, oh, I'm gonzo when I saw that I hit the bumper. But usually you want to take it a bit slower when you like mess up, right? No, because you need to take time to like find out what you need to do, like work it out. So that's why I did an up dash. You saw in the clip, I do an up dash so I could line myself up. And just in general, whenever I make a mistake and I think I can recover it, I like try and stall it for as long as possible to make sure it'll work 100%. Because a failed save doesn't like, that's just a lot of wasted time.
Right.
Yeah.
So. I think that separates what he just mentioned. Like the ability to save that sort of situation is what separates the top runners from the rest. Like like the top runners can do that. They can react because like you're going to make mistakes. In a game like Celeste, it's a precision platformer. It's extremely difficult sometimes, and being able to save that sort of situation is really what separates the top from the rest.
Awesome. And TGH, now to talk a little bit about how tight some of the like strats are. There I think you line up all the way at the left edge of the Kevin blocks so that you can do a minimum jump hyper, right? In order to do another like short hop, another bunny hop in order to get that extended. So
that's a super neat strat. How
do you go about practicing hard strats like that and stuff and just
I think one thing about that is that was in the task, like first and foremost, and basically like what we do as runners and as strat finders is we try to find ways to implement task strats, quote unquote, and make them human viable for runs, and that was one of those. The task does it somewhat differently, but we had it modified to make it easier for humans to do.
That's super cool. And Matt and Noel, I want to also, and Kevin, Matt, Noel, and Kevin, I want to congratulate you guys on just making a fantastic game that has been so loved by the speedrunning community and just larger gamers in general. I think it's been super cool. And with that, I want to kind of get into how your mentality of designing the game was with kind of speedrunning from the outset. We have a second clip here that we're going to show. And this one, we want to basically watch the left side of the screen. We want to watch TGH. I'll kind of set up this clip here. Okay, wow, we actually got a crop. So basically, TGH here is doing a dash through a transition and then wall kicking out of that in order to get the dash, wall kick boost. And then on top of that, doing a dash upwards into, like right next to the spikes and then into another wall kick. So I believe, we're going to start with Kevin on this one. I believe the dashing through the transition into a wall kick was like the last thing that was found by the community that you knew about, right?
The big joke, because I speedrun, and my PB is trash compared to theirs now, but we of course I didn't want to be like streaming my runs or my attempts on day one. That'd just be kind of silly, and it would ruin a lot of the fun of players discovering things like that, right?
I hated you in the moment, but I do appreciate it after the fact.
No, cheers. I didn't mean to rub it in anyone's face like I know something you don't know, but we had kind of a tally of sorts. Like, okay, they found the spike jump, they found the extended hyper, they found all these things, and for the most part, the vast majority of known speed tech now was at least like we were aware of it. And a lot of that was intended too. So yeah, the wall jump through the transition, I don't think that was intended on design, but we just embraced it.
Yeah. it's like the game teaches you a lot of the tech that you use to do all these things, but we don't know all the applications of it. So we'll like, the game teaches you super wall jumping, and we just know it's going to break the levels, but we don't really know all the details.
Right.
And actually, can you bring that clip back up? Is that possible?
I think we can.
Is that doable?
Yeah, we can bring it back.
Do we have the clip?
There we go.
Okay, can you freeze frame the clip in the second room?
What are you doing in my production?
So not this room, the next room. Okay, so, nice save. Okay, so what I used to do is I'd jump off like the lower ledge there and then spike jump off again. So it was like a second spike jump in this chapter. So when this wall boost was discovered, like Matt's saying, we didn't see this particular application and thought I had a cool strat in this room, but it turns out there's a way faster method. So rip Kevin's strats. It's fine.
Well, and then to ask Matt from a design perspective, how much of the speed tech would you say was kind of designed pretty early on, or pretty much intentionally, like as soon as you started doing the dashes and stuff and seeing what was possible? How much of it was done that way, and how much of it was kind of just found and left in and embraced?
Right. I mean, a lot of it was intentional in that, like, the game teaches you a lot of it. Like, the hyper jumping is taught in the seasides and stuff. And it was kind of the thing where we're always looking for ways to get more depth out of the mechanics. And, like, speedrunning was always a way we wanted people to play the game. Like, the goal of Celeste, in some ways, is to get people to the point where they will speedrun it. Like, it kind of eases them into it. But yeah, we always knew that there was stuff that we didn't know about, and like, that people would break it even more.
Yeah,
of course.
And our kind of mindset with that stuff is just like, if it makes the run really fun and it breaks the game in crazy ways, then we should keep it because it's interesting and exciting and fun. And we only try to like fix stuff or like get rid of stuff when it like just makes things like really unfun.
Yeah,
it's
the same mentality we have with the rest of the game, right? Like we want the speedrunning experience to be as good as the just playing casually experience.
And Noah, I wanted to ask you a question on the kind of the programming side as well. What was maybe the hardest, I guess, what was the hardest thing that you ended up wanting to implement and ended up, implementing in terms of speed tech and stuff? Or if for some reason there's not a great answer to that, what was the hardest thing for you to take out? Like something that just didn't really work, that you really wanted and you had to take out?
Oh man, I'm not sure like what stuff we took out that just didn't end up working. Oh yeah, we had a dash counter for a long time that we ended up taking out. That wasn't hard to program, but we had it for a long time where you could it would track the number of dashes you had in a chapter, and there was like a little counter on the top right, kind of like how the speedrun timer's up there. But we ended up we took that out because the only place that it was really fun was chapter 1. Chapter 1 felt really cool, like how few dashes can you do this in, but other chapters that didn't play in as nicely. So we took it out and replaced it with, spoilers, that gold strawberry.
Yeah. Most of the cut stuff is level.
Yeah.
There's a lot of levels that go cut.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cut programming stuff. I rewrote the lighting system, but that doesn't apply to speedrun because that actually has almost no effect to the movement mechanics at all.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest thing, I think, was the lighting.
Well, cool. I do want to get into some social media questions. We don't have a lot of time, but there are a lot of people who love this game, so we want to get into some of them. The first one comes from @NerdPiggy that asks, what are your favorite and least favorite chapters? And we're going to try to rapid fire this so we can get everybody. So YP, why don't we start with you?
Chapter 4 and Chapter 4 for favorite and least favorite.
All right. Nice. TGH?
Chapter 5, most favorite, and long story short, I'm not sure I have a least favorite chapter actually.
That's, ooh, wow, the cop-out answer. I like it, I like it.
Yeah. I'm pretty known for that.
All right, now for the 3 that it might be the hardest to actually say for.
I don't know. I like Chapter 5 a lot too, actually. It's cool, creepy. And Chapter 7 a lot just because of the music, actually.
I think from a development standpoint, audio development standpoint, I think Chapter 5 is probably the most complex with really crazy, the finale with the eyeball and how the music gets all twisted as you walk towards it. That was really kind of fun to prototype and get to work in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Chapter 6 is my favorite just because it's where the story comes together and developing that story was really important for me. And then maybe I'll try to answer least favorite. No, the prologue. It's the shortest one.
I wasn't going to press
least interesting, the prologue.
I mean, it's probably 3 and 3 for me because I had so much trouble with Chapter 3 right away when I was playing the game.
Yeah.
And now I've gone back and like learned a lot of the cycles and learned the tech, and I just love Lena Raine's soundtrack, especially in the Shiroscape.
She
That it's
killed
now
it.
become one of my favorites.
I think actually least favorite to develop was Chapter 3 because it took so long to get that right.
Yeah, even up to the end of the game, we were going back and like tweaking things
Yeah,
in Chapter
that
3.
chapter is
Yeah, if you watch like the announced trailer of Celeste, there's a sneak peek of what Oshiro used to look like.
Yeah.
And it's not at all like it is now.
Yeah.
You could like cling from Oshiro's nose in the boss fight. It was wild. Yeah.
Well, that's great. All right, well, I think we're basically out of time here, folks. I do want to give you guys, YP and TGH, the chance to plug an upcoming thing for the Celeste community if you want.
Absolutely.
Do you want to?
Yeah, sure. All right, so we have an upcoming Celeste tournament coming up. It's going to be beginning on July 9th. So if you're interested, if you liked what you saw, feel free to come and join that. We have a challenge page. We have a Discord for it. First off, join the Celeste Discord. There's more info there in the announcements in the Discord. Sign-ups close July 5th. So if you're interested, you want to learn a really cool speedrun and go ahead and take part in a really cool event, there's your hint.
All right, well, I know at least 3 of us on these couches are going to be joining the tournament. Can we get the other 3, maybe? I don't know.
I got a lot of practice to do.
Yeah.
If
I will get
jump in
last
there.
place, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to leave with these guys hating me, so we're just going to go ahead and end it on that note. Let's throw it up to the front. We got the Boyks getting ready to run Pepsi Man. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Drink Pepsi.
Pepsi Man. Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi. I see people are getting hyped for the Silly Games Done Quick block already. And we have a $15 donation from Justin Pepsi Man that says, Pepsi Man, so ready for the most hype run of SGDQ. $5 from JRP. Pepsi! Yes! We still have some love for the Celeste run because it was that great. $215 from anonymous donor. Still picking my jaw up from the floor after that Celeste run. Joining in on the couch's per death donation pledge. We have $250 from Fiora, who says, I've spent 30 minutes trying to come up with a donation message to write here, but maybe Celeste is just too special of a game to describe in words. We have $20 from Eladin, who says, I've been watching GDQs on YouTube for years, but Celeste is a game that finally got me to try out speedrunning for myself, so I had to stay up to watch it live and donate. We have quite a lengthy $15 donation from Shiroto, who says, now it's time for Pepsi Man. Let's drink some Pepsi, fam. Don't forget to recycle that Pepsi can. We should meet up, fellow Pepsi men.